Hello. Let's take a look at the Gotheria borders and how easy they are to use, along with the actions that I created to make them seamlessly blend into your artworks. In front of us, we have my friends Sarah and Rocky, and I'd like to add a border in, but I want to add it in after I've created this entire art piece. So let's make sure that it blends perfectly. I'm going to open my Gotheria border set. There are 5 in this border pack, and I will be releasing more packs later on that have different themes. This one is a bit on the Gothic side, thus the name. Let's use Gotheria number 4. I'm going to literally drag and drop on top of the background here. Wonderful. I wanted to be able to make these borders usable both with and without the action. So I actually went ahead and applied a gold foil tone across the entire image. So if you want to use it as is, you actually can. And I'm going to show you how to use it really quickly. So just go ahead and drop your border in. You can resize it. They're actually pretty large, so you can resize them to mostly any size artwork. You're going to adjust this to color dodge. While this one worked immediately, if it's too bright, you're going to get these blowout spots. If you adjust the fill percentage with color dodge, it's actually changing the multiplication that's going on behind the scenes inside of Photoshop. But what if you want more control than that? Well, that's why I built the Aetherealism Actions that are part of these border packs. So let's try that out. I'm going to set this to normal as though I just drag and dropped this directly on top. Your Photoshop may look different than mine in that it's not turned to button mode with your actions. With actions, you actually need to tap on this set of 4 lines at the top right and click button mode. It's actually a lot easier. I didn't know this existed until this year. All you have to do is click once. Let's click AEF border and watch what happens. Border is now complete. I encourage you to take creative control by painting in the highlights where you see fit. Think of how the light in your image may interact with the border. Try opening the groups and adjusting the colors of highlights, shadows, and midtones. Then add more drama via the AEF increase border contrast action. Finally, experiment with adding texture and or polishing it off with a glow. So all of these things are things that I do typically manually with my workflow when I'm adding these to my artworks. So I made it automated for you. You can go ahead and hit stop here. And then over on the left-hand side, you're going to see that Ethereal Romanticism is the name of the borders. That's going to pop open here with highlights, midtones, and shadows, and you'll notice that each of these has a mask attached to them. Let's do a quick review of what masks do. A mask allows you to erase or unerase part of an image so that you can always get rid of it or bring it back. If it's black, it's erased. If it's white, it's fully unerased or fully visible. So right now that means our midtones and our shadows are fully visible, but our highlights are not. I'm going to go in with my signature fog brush here that I created, which I will be releasing quite soon. Let's paint with white, which is going to reveal what is inside of the highlights. So let's paint with white on the mask. And now I know my light is coming in from the top left, so I'm gonna just act as though I'm painting in that light. So my light's coming in from high left to low right, so it's probably gonna grab some of this, and let's go ahead and let's paint in some light over here as well. Maybe there's like a little glint happening over here from some reflected light. What if we wanted to increase the drama? Rather than having your highlights or midtones or shadows selected, we can close this back up and we can go over here to my next action, which is border increase contrast. Click on the button and see what it says. Just in case you didn't close everything up beforehand, before pressing continue, please ensure you have already run the AEF border and that you have the Ethereal Romanticism border group selected. I've closed up my highlight, shadows, and midtones, and I've selected the Ethereal Romanticism border. If at this point you did not select it, you would hit stop, select the correct group, and then press play on the action again. Let's hit continue. You may now add light to your border by painting with white on the highlights in the in contrast increase folder, and you can increase the shadow intensity by painting with black on the midtones folder. Now we have even more control, and check this out. Now it's saved our original selection, but it's now added a highlight, midtone, and a couple other shadows. So let's go ahead and paint a little extra in that highlight increase. And now we're really defining where that light is coming from. But what if over here I want to make it dark? Let's go to our midtones and let's paint with black. We'll be able to push these into shadow. Now you'll notice here that we are almost like inverting what's happening with the border. Well, I've already painted some highlights in and I have full control over this, so I can erase some of those highlights. And check this out. Now it's like this gold border is going in and out of the light, and we have full control to choose where this goes completely. Well, I'll show you something else that's pretty cool. If you go and close this entire thing up and you add a mask to the entire thing, you can control by painting with black where that border actually goes very, very easily. I personally really like adding borders that go in and out of the background. So you'll see in a lot of my artworks, all I'm doing is I'm painting in where the light and the shadow are, and then I'm letting that border fade into the background so that it's not a main character, so to speak. And I've made it so that these actions can be repeated an indefinite amount of times. I made these for you. I've been developing these over the last 2 years, and they're awesome. They're really awesome. And I'm excited to share this with you.